They didn't even look back after she hit the ground. 3 cadets, laughing, shoving their way through the corridor of Naval Command Academy, had just slammed shoulders with the new girl. Her files spilled across the polished floor, the sound of paper scattering echoing through the hall. One of them glanced over his shoulder with a smirk. "Welcome to the fleet, rookie." But the woman they had knocked down wasn't a rookie. She was Fleet Admiral Evelyn Hart, the highest-ranking officer in the entire Pacific Command. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Evelyn quietly gathered her papers, her face unreadable. The hall buzzed with whispers. Everyone had heard the rumors that a new commanding officer was visiting the academy, a leader with more stars on her shoulder than anyone in the room could imagine. But no one had expected her to walk in like this, unannounced, wearing a plain uniform with no visible rank, her hair tied in a simple bun, eyes soft but calculating. She'd come to observe, to see who among these cadets had heart, discipline, and humility. What she found, instead, was arrogance, disguised as confidence. As she rose, one young woman in the corner hesitated, then stepped forward to help her. "Ma'am, are you all right?" Evelyn looked at her, a quiet cadet with nervous eyes and steady hands. "I'm fine," she said softly, "but thank you for noticing." The moment passed, but it wasn't forgotten. Later that morning, the entire academy gathered in the main auditorium. The air hummed with excitement. The new fleet admiral was rumored to be arriving that day. The same cadets who'd shoved her earlier now stood in formation, uniforms crisp, boots shining, waiting to impress whoever walked through those doors. And then she entered. The hall fell silent. Every cadet snapped to attention, except the 3 in the front row who froze in disbelief. Because the woman stepping onto the podium was the same rookie they had knocked down an hour earlier. The golden insignia on her chest gleamed under the light. 4 shining stars. Fleet Admiral. No one breathed. The silence was heavy, electric. Evelyn's gaze swept across the room, calm and deliberate. She didn't raise her voice, yet every word landed like a hammer. "This morning," she began, "I was reminded that rank means nothing if respect doesn't live beneath it." Her eyes locked on the 3 cadets who had pushed her. They shifted uncomfortably, but dared not look away. She continued, "A true soldier's strength isn't measured by how loudly they command, but by how quietly they carry others." The room stayed frozen in shameful silence. Some cadets looked down. Others clenched their fists. Evelyn paused, letting the lesson sink in. Then she said, "Those of you who think leadership begins with power have already failed." A slow murmur spread across the crowd. Even the instructors, standing rigid at the back, exchanged glances. No one expected this kind of raw truth. Evelyn stepped down from the podium and approached the cadet who had helped her earlier. "Cadet Walker," she said, her voice softer now. "You saw someone fall and you acted without thinking twice. That's leadership." Walker's eyes widened. The entire hall turned toward her, the cadets' faces reflecting a mix of surprise and admiration. Evelyn placed a small command pin on her uniform. "Effective immediately, you're leading this week's operations drill." A wave of murmurs rippled through the hall. The same cadets who had mocked the rookie now stood speechless, watching the quiet one they'd ignored being recognized before them. After the ceremony, Evelyn walked the training grounds alone, the sea wind whipping through her hair. She didn't enjoy humiliating those cadets, but some lessons, she knew, had to cut deep to be remembered. Because the Navy didn't just build warriors, it built character, or broke arrogance until it became one. That evening, as the sun sank over the docks, the same 3 cadets approached her. Their voices trembled as they apologized, heads bowed low. Evelyn listened quietly, then nodded. "You made a mistake," she said. "Now make it right by being the kind of leaders who never let others fall unnoticed. They saluted her, this time with genuine respect, and as she watched them walk away, Evelyn smiled faintly. Sometimes the hardest battles aren't fought on oceans or borders, but in the hearts of those still learning what honor truly means. Because respect isn't demanded. It's earned, moment by moment. And somewhere in that same corridor where she'd first been knocked down, the echo of laughter had been replaced by something else. Silence, reverence, and the sound of lessons learned. If you believe real leadership starts with humility, make sure to subscribe. Because stories like this one remind us that true power always walks quietly.